It started on a chilly January evening when my son Liam called, boasting about a new apartment he'd gotten for himself and Sophie, his wife. He spoke with excitement, recounting the sleek penthouse in downtown Boston with its floor-to-ceiling windows and luxurious features. My heart swelled with pride, thinking that after all the years of hard work, sacrifices, and late nights at the engineering firm, Liam had made it. But what followed next froze me in place. "We're thinking of you helping with the mortgage," he casually added. "You've always had our backs. College, wedding, you never let us down. This is your responsibility too." The words hit like a cold slap. My mind raced as I tried to process it. I assumed he was joking, but as the silence stretched, my blood ran cold. A part of me wanted to shout absolutely not, but instead, I sat there, stunned, until the call ended with Liam's words echoing, "You'll figure it out. You always do." That night, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something had shifted. The same son I had supported, loved, and sacrificed for now treated me like an ATM, expecting me to fund their extravagant lifestyle without question. I replayed the call, hearing the edge of entitlement in his voice. My mind wandered to our years together, college funds, his wedding, the first car I bought him. And yet here I was, his father, being expected to carry yet another financial burden. The days that followed felt like they were crawling by. My home, once a place of warmth and memories, now felt cold and suffocating. The folder containing their mortgage papers sat on the kitchen table, a reminder of their request. I couldn't even look at it. It represented betrayal, manipulation, and the final unraveling of a bond I thought I could always count on. One night, I caught a glimpse of Sophie's post on social media. "Some people forget family when money's involved," she had written, followed by a winking emoji. Below that, Liam's comment, "Guess Dad's too selfish to help us build a future." The post felt like a punch to the gut. I couldn't believe how low they had sunk, dragging our private affairs into the public eye, painting me as the villain in their story. It was no longer just about money. It was about respect and the family bonds I thought would last forever. The anger I had been suppressing for days turned into resolve. I wasn't just going to take this. I refused to be the silent bystander in their drama anymore. I needed to act, not just for me, but for the man I had become. With the support of Ellen, a neighbor who had always been there for me, I started to gather evidence. Ellen introduced me to Tom, a retired corporate fraud investigator. He was sharp, and it didn't take long for him to uncover something far bigger than I anticipated. Tom's investigation revealed that Liam's so-called business was riddled with debts and shady investments. Sophie, too, had fabricated references to land a cushy job that didn't even exist. My stomach turned as the lies and manipulations they had built their lives on were exposed. Liam had forged my signature on business documents years ago, and I had unknowingly supported his failed ventures. The more I uncovered, the clearer it became that I wasn't just fighting to protect my money, but my dignity. The son I had always been proud of was nothing more than a man hiding behind his lies. But I was done letting them manipulate me. With Tom's help, I found a way to expose their deception. We crafted a plan that would strip them of their status and reputation. I wasn't just going to expose their lies for me, I would do it for everyone they had hurt, including the people who had stood by me all these years. The day of the trial came, and I stood there, the evidence in hand, facing the son I had once thought would carry our family's legacy forward. Liam and Sophie entered the courtroom dressed to impress, their confidence palpable. But there was a crack in their armor. The once poised and smug expressions faded when they saw the evidence presented against them. Letters, business records, and loan agreements painted a clear picture that Liam and Sophie had been living in a world of lies, using me as their safety net while playing the public role of a perfect couple. Their lawyer stammered, unable to counter the well-prepared case that exposed their debts, lies, and manipulations. I could see the shift in Liam's face as the truth hit him as it had hit me. The room was filled with tension, but I remained calm. I had fought for my family, for my life, and now I was fighting to make sure they didn't take any more from me. When the judge's gavel came down, declaring the lawsuit dismissed, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. But there was no joy in the victory, just a quiet satisfaction that the truth had been revealed. Sophie and Liam had lost not just their case, but their carefully constructed facade. After the trial, I thought I would feel relief, maybe even vindication, but as I stood outside the courthouse, Liam and Sophie approached me. Their arrogance had melted away, replaced with nervousness and regret. They apologized, but it was too little too late. I didn't flinch even as they begged for forgiveness. Their words no longer held weight. Their promises had shattered long ago. "You've lost more than a lawsuit," I said, my voice firm. "You lost me." I turned and walked away, leaving them behind, knowing that the family I had once loved and trusted was now nothing more than a hollow shell. In the days that followed, I spent time with Ellen, who had been my anchor throughout this ordeal. We talked, planned trips, and even laughed about the absurdity of it all. For the first time in years, I felt like I was truly free. I was no longer the man who gave everything without question. I had reclaimed my dignity, and that meant more to me than any amount of money or status. The future, though uncertain, was mine to shape. As I sat on Ellen's porch, the snow falling gently around me, I realized that this new chapter was one of growth, strength, and most of all, independence. The story of betrayal, lies, and greed had come to an end. Liam and Sophie had underestimated me, thinking I would simply roll over and hand them everything. But instead, I stood firm. With Ellen's support, I had found the strength to fight back and reclaim what was mine. The snow outside, the stillness of the moment, reminded me of the peace I had fought for. I didn't need their approval, and I certainly didn't need their false love. What I needed was to be true to myself and to honor the man I had become. The journey had been long, but now, with the weight of their deceit lifted, I knew that the future was mine to create, and for the first time, it felt like a future full of possibility.